WrestleQuest back with another one, and this caught my eye on the timeline. This is crazy. Nattie Neidhart, obviously royalty of pro wrestling, one of those legacy families who's been experiencing quite a lot of drama as of late, man, with RIP the British Bulldog, his wife, and his whole Bret Hart situation. I just don't understand that one. I felt like Bret's been saying that, and other people like co-signed and uh, verified some of the things that he said, and I don't know, man. It's a tricky thing. R.I.P. to the Bulldog, but that's Bret's sister, right? She don't like it all of a sudden. You guys think that that's official, organic, for real, or there's people trying to they're trying to drum up controversy? I don't know. I don't know what to think of it, man. But with that being said, Nattie Neidhart put out her book. I love the title, Last Heart Beating. And it's wild with a lot of these books that celebrities put out. They'll have their ghost writers and ish like that. And, is it all gimmicks? Do they get down to the real, the nitty gritty, the stuff that people want to hear? The Rock's book, Mankind's book, some classics. Comment some of the best pro wrestler books you ever read, But listen to this. This blew my mind, right? Because I have a very close family member who I have their ashes. We have them in a few different pendants on our chains and like necklace. And we have a urn. And can you believe one time I left it at the hot tub at a place I lived in, and I came back and the guy he didn't know what it was. Luckily, he didn't just steal it. He was in the hot tub chilling. He had it sitting with his ish. He tried to break it off and broke the pendant. Luckily, none of the ashes came out. He tried to act like he just found it like that. I was heated. But listen to this here. Nattie was saying, the ashes story is hilarious. I laughed so hard while reading it aloud from my audiobook. So obviously we know this didn't happen, because wouldn't anything be funny about it if she did indeed do what we're about to get here? It must have been a close call, but everything turned out to be A-OK. As this girl Sarah said, this was a fantastic read. I laughed, I cried, I smiled. Nattie has always been an inspiration to me and still is. This book is a great insight to not only her story, but her life. The part about potentially vacuuming up Jim's ashes in New York had me in tears of laughter. I relate to the feeling of losing a parent. So that definitely hit me the hardest. And man, losing a parent is just losing any close family member, but specifically a parent. It's not never supposed to be the other way around, where a parent buries a child. I don't know how anyone recovers from that, but we saw on some of the wrestling content, they had a very close relationship, and it was sad when the anvil went. I couldn't believe. You guys remember the way they tried to bury him with they did bury him with the DX storyline after the screw drop? That was crazy, man. You can't tell me Vince wasn't on some bullshit. But this will be a book I read over and over. Congrats on such a successful book, Nattie. I hope there's more to come. And just a quick review of the book. Again, anyone out there, if you've read the book, leave your thoughts on it in the comments if you enjoyed it, what the case may be. Thank God that, again, without reading the book, we know Nattie didn't actually vacuum up her father's ashes. But man, that would be horrific. You know what I mean? So she's able to laugh about it. You guys remember that scene out of, what's that, Meet the Fockers? Remember that? Jinxie Cat, the ashes, Ben Stiller. It's crazy, man. And then there's a new Fockers movie, too, coming out. How crazy is that all these years later? But check it out. Book Report guy over on Reddit said, with more from The Last Heart Beating, written by Nattie Neidhart with Paul O'Brien. So she did have some assistance, but let's see what he has to say about it. Is this just one of those gimmicky, get it? Because a lot of those publicists do that ish. They'll be like, hey, throw our best ghostwriter on it. Give them the cliff notes and you're good to go. But this guy seems to have a little more to say about it than that it wasn't just some cheap bullshit read, right? He said, This part 3 covers her women's championship win, her frustration with the women's revolution, TJ's career-ending injury, and her father's passing. Man, TJ looked to have a promising career. You know what I mean? In the late stages of WWE's ECW, him and DH Smith were tagging over there. In the British Bulldog, Bret Hart, uh, the wife, sister of Bret Hart, wife of Davey Boy. I was like, man, I'm surprised Junior never made it back around. What do you guys think? Did he just couldn't cut it or what? And TJ, it was like Tyson Kidd. That's what he was going by. He had showed some promise, but it was like his career was over before it began. But I mean, neck injury's nothing to play with. But check out what he said. Hey, y'all, book report guy back with the recent book written by Nattie Neidhart titled The Last Heart Beating. This was a pretty average book where Nattie stayed away from the most of the heavy and controversial subjects that I was hoping to hear about. I found the first half of the book to be very detailed, while the second half flew by, and it always felt like she was skipping over interesting stuff. And then it says the first part focused on her pre-WWE life and career, ending with her about to embark on her first tour in Japan. So there you have it, man. Book report guy says it wasn't all that. If you read it, what say you? You know what I mean? Leave your thoughts. And again, let's talk about some of the best pro wrestling books ever written. Like I said, The Rock's one I loved. I read that way back. Same thing with Mankind. But I got to say, it's been a long time since I read one of those books. You know, it's so different nowadays too. People do not read like they used to with the emergence of content world we live in and podcasts and audio books. But I don't know. I just feel like reading in some ways is kind of like working out for your brain, if you will. It keeps you sharp. But yeah, thank God she didn't vacuum up the Anvil's ashes. And yeah, that's it on this one. So thank you for tuning in. Jump into the comments. Let's talk about it all. And subscribe for more pro wrestling content. It's WrestleQuest. I'm out of here.